You're gay! Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 4, episode 8 of Gay Rave, and I am the Gabby L. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy December. I hope everyone had a gorgeous and fantastic Thanksgiving break. I hope that you all took some time off. I went home for a couple days and stayed in my childhood bedroom, and it was nice. You know, the 3 cats were there, got woken up one morning to one cat barfing. And then, of course, I had the fear that it was barfing on all of my items. So I had to get up and shine a light and see what was going on. It did not barf in my suitcase, but it did barf on the ground, sort of near my room. And then I had to ignore it and pretend I never saw it so that I didn't have to clean it up. So sorry, Mom. But then I came back and I really hate to say it. I hate to say it. Watch out. I heard Welcome to New York by Taylor Swift again at random, and that shit hit me like a bus. Okay. I am feeling inspired again. I almost damn near welled up a tear. That is how on the edge I constantly am. This is how I am one play of a song that came out 15 years ago away from crying at any given moment. Okay. And that is the power of Welcome to New York. And I was like, wow, it really has been waiting for me. This is so crazy. So, we are back, and that is what inspired me all day Sunday to clean my apartment. I was taking the fucking magic eraser to my tub. I was dusting and vacuuming. I am a whole brand new bitch. December 1st, I've never met that bitch from last week. I am brand new. I am not waiting to 1-1 to be the new me. I am doing it today. Today is the first day of the rest of my life, recording this on December 1, and it's the first week of the rest of my life. Here is what's up. To everyone who is using the new year as an excuse to become brand new, I've been doing this for 4 weeks. Let me show you around. Let me give you the tour because I am starting today, meaning that by 1-1, I'm going to be like, okay, get in, losers. I've been here. Let me show you around. So I did a lot of damage financially on Black Friday, but that included joining a gym. So I live right next to a gym. I was like, let me just do this. Of course, they have a table outside that's like, ask us about Crunch. 2 people were standing near the table in jackets, sort of talking. And I was like, are you guys Crunch people? And they were like, no. They were just people leaving the gym talking near this table. I was like, the mortification. So I had to recover from that instantly, walk in the door, and finally ask them a question like, please help me, please. I just want to join your gym. Mortifying. So, I did sign up, and of course, they're walking me around the gym. I start having a coughing fit, and it's one of those ones where you breathe in a really crisp sort of burst of air and it hits your throat, and suddenly you're like, and you can't really catch your breath, so you start having to cough a lot in order to make things right again. Eyes are watering. I need water. I'm at every water fountain that we pass. Finally, she's like, do you need a bottle of water? She gets me a free bottle of water, and it's only free because she essentially made me buy 2 years. And by made me, I just mean I'm a sucker. Okay, some of you are getting a monthly membership for $80 to $100 a month. Not me though. Not me. I spent $1,400 in one sitting because I bought 2 years. I am an idiot. I am a dumbass. So here's what happened. Some of you guys might be paying a monthly fee, but I paid $1,400 for 24 months. So that way I could only be paying $60 a month, the equivalent of that, because I did pay $1,400 at one time. I said, charge it. I don't care. They're like, do you think you'll be living here? I said, I genuinely don't know, but let's find out. Okay. All they had to do was be like, your monthly rate technically goes down to $60 a month. And I was like, where do I sign? Susceptible to marketing, susceptible to the ploys of any person trying to sell me something. Oh my God, don't tell anyone. Oh my God, I will never financially recover from this and all the shit that I bought on Black Friday. And it is Cyber Monday today. Wait, is Black Friday something we can say still? Are we still using that terminology? Aren't we so glad that we bypassed the people killing each other for TVs in Walmart? That was a period of life in which we all lived in. And finally, we sort of corrected ourselves. At least I think we did. In my mind, no one's going shopping at a store on Black Friday anymore, which is not true. All Black Friday was like, let's just go to Walmart, let's go to the store. Everyone's like, girl, the stores are going to be overrunneth. The stores runneth over. And so didn't end up doing that, but did go to Goodwill on Black Friday, got hella deals. Okay. My point is don't tempt me. I will keep going. First of all, rent is due today, but there's a grace period, babe. Okay. I have 10 days, people, to do whatever I want. I will continue to charge. No one's going to stop me. This is what being an adult means. Okay. So I have at least 9 boxes on their way. I got an email today from UPS that was like, you need to pay the tariffs on this package coming from Spain. I said, what the hell did I order from Spain? Does this seem like something a mentally well person would be doing? Does this seem like someone who's fine? Right? Right? And then the other day, I saw these like authentic, I think Tacovas cowboy boots, and instantly, obviously, I needed them. So I bid. Adult woman bids $200 on authentic cowboy boots, and of course, within moments of bidding, I get them. $200 leaves my account instantly. They're like, the boots are coming from Ukraine, so they'll be here in January. I was like, oh God, I'm never getting these boots. So I paid $200 to not get boots. First of all, why are they in Ukraine? I get times are tough. Like, is it because times are tough and they need, or is it a scam? Like, I really can't tell. Only time will tell. Hit me back in January to find out. Can we end 2025 now? Can we end 2025 early? Please, God, please. Okay, moving on. So, I joined the gym. I did not go today, the first day of my life, but I did go to PT today, which does count as the gym because he's always making me jump over shit. This man, I'm graduating from PT at the end of this week, by the way. I am no longer having to do this because it's been a month. And I met my deductible, so I was like, maybe I'll just keep going because I like this guy do. He's really funny. He has me jumping off of one of those boxes, jumping off of a box and then jumping over 4 cones in a row. And he's like, you're not doing it right. Your knees are buckling and you need to like engage your butt. So what he's telling me is my butt fucking sucks and that I have the Disney knees when I'm jumping over these cones. So then what does he do? He puts this wrap around my legs so that way they can't move and they can't buckle. He's like, when you're in the gym, put this wrap on your legs. If you go to a class and they're having you do jumping, just pause, go to your bag, grab the wrap, put it around your legs, and then do the jumping. I'm like, sir, in what world am I actually taking this practical knowledge with me? And I know that I should, and I might, but let's be real, I'm not going to. He is trying to get me to scare the hose so bad. Like, I cannot be wearing this in the gym. Okay, so that's just me. Also, I've been eating 150 grams of protein every day for no fucking reason. I have not like consistently worked out in years. My body is sort of like, girl, we see it, we have it, we have nothing to do with this. So you're just gaining weight at a fucking stupid pace because I'm eating so much protein and not moving. So, okay, fine. To that, I say, I will finally move. I did pickleball with my mom on Saturday morning. She had like rolled me out of bed. We had a 9 o'clock pickleball appointment at the mall. At the mall in the old Navy. The mall opens at 10. We have a 9 o'clock appointment. We're sneaking in the doors. Rest of the mall's not even open. Not that there are really stores there anymore. We're going to play pickleball with all of her friends. Some of them are like her age, like 60 plus, 70 plus. Some of them seem like in the 50s, side. And they're trying to make me feel better. They're like, you're doing great. I am like, y'all, this is feeling a little too close for comfort. Like I'm a little sweatier than I want to be. There was a man who had this device, this suction cup at the end of his pickleball paddle on the handle. So he didn't have to bend down and get the balls. So he would just like suction up the ball and then he wouldn't have to bend down. I think he had knee problems. I mean, clearly his knees were not bending. So there was clearly a problem there. But I looked at him and I was like, oh, I need that. I need this so I don't have to bend over and get it. Something needs to change. All right, something needs to change. And that is exactly what we're going to do. Remember, first day of the rest of my life. So let's move into some gay news now that it's been 10 minutes of me rambling. There is a new gay hockey show that just came out last week. And in honor of that, I am wearing my New York Rangers jersey because I went to a Rangers game one time and I love a theme. Okay. Don't know anything about it. Don't ask me about it. I wore it outside earlier today and someone was like, go Rangers. And I was like, perfect interaction. Perfect interactions. No, like, name 5 players, name their score, when is their next game, none of that. I want to be fake about it, and I want to wear the jersey and have 0 questions. I hope the guy on the back of it isn't canceled. Like, this is actually a concern of mine. I should really be Googling these people, but nonetheless, we're here. All right. The show is on HBO Max and it's called Heated Rivalry. It's actually based on a book and they just made it into a show. It's from a Canadian woman, obviously. That's why it's about hockey. So it's, when I looked this up, it's about these 2 rookies who join like the NHL or the equivalent of the NHL in this universe. And they create this sort of like rivalry between them because there are 2 rookies on rival teams. One of them is on like the Montreal team, another one is on the Boston team. And they said it's actually supposed to be like echoing the rivalry between Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin years ago. So how they were on opposing teams and they were rookie rivalry. And so this is supposed to be like that, but gay and really, really horny. How fun is that tidbit? Okay. So they are rookies in the league, and so the league is making them like the darlings, right? The rivals for marketing purposes. And so they are in this like hotly contested rivalry. They're the media darlings, blah blah blah. And apparently it's supposed to be like will they won't they situation from the book, but within 10 minutes of the show apparently they're making out. And what I love about this is that, of course, I'm talking about a show I've never seen. This is sort of like a DIY news source. It's like, I will tell you what I've read and heard, and then you go fucking figure it out. Okay? Isn't that what you love about this? This is what you come to Gay Rave for. Okay? So allegedly it spans 8 years in the NHL, and there's like not graphic sex scenes, obviously, but like very horny, steamy, like they are doing sex faces, orgasming type vibes. And that is really, it's something. So it's on season 1. There's only 2 episodes out now. I think there's supposed to be 6 total, and the last one comes out in right around Christmas, I think. So everyone lock in. I have not yet watched I Love LA like I said I would, so I'm going to start there, and then I will make my way over to this. Still never watched Boots, the other gay show that I referenced that I was like telling all these lies about. So would love feedback for anyone else who has watched Heated Rivalry. Otherwise, thank you to Ravers Marilena for telling me the tea about this one. Okay, moving on. So Oxford released their 2025 word of the year, and I do think it is quite apt. The word that they chose is, or words, I guess we're just loose with the rules these days, Oxford, you know them. Rage bait. It is rage bait, which is actually quite fitting. We all know what rage bait is, but I will define it for you anyway. They define it as online content deliberately designed to elicit anger or outrage by being frustrating, provocative, or offensive, typically posted in order to increase traffic to or engagement with a particular web page or social media account. Okay, Trump is the president again. Obviously, this makes sense. And not for nothing, this coming a week after X, formerly known as Twitter, just put in a feature where you can see the origins of every X account. So when you click into someone's account, you can see like when they started their account and where. So all these like Trump far right accounts, like, you know, we love Charlie Kirk accounts, like are all in like Bangladesh. Like they're clearly like bot farms, all in like Russia, India, and China, and all these places. I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do with this information? Say it with me. Nothing. Trying to get someone to do something with good information in this fucking country is like waiting for rain in this drought. It is what? Say it with me. Useless and disappointing. Yes, yes. So rage bait, that makes a lot of sense in this day and age. And they were in this whole article about it. They're like, is rage bait 1 word or 2 words? We know clickbait is 1 word and it is 2 words as they put it, but still our Oxford word of the year just dropped. Some of the runners up I thought were really, really good. The first runner up, aura farming. I've been trying to put this in my fucking vocabulary for so long and I just can't figure it out. I can't figure out where to put it, but we'll get there. Okay, catch me in the gym with that band around my fucking ankles doing aura farming, okay, trying to seem cool and mysterious. Thank you to my physical therapist. So aura farming is defined as the cultivation of an impressive, attractive, or charismatic persona. Yeah, we know a little something about that. Or public image by behaving or presenting oneself in a way intended subtly to convey an air of coolness, confidence, or mystique. We know nothing about that. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of aura farming is literally Zoran Mamdani's wife. She is so cool and seems so mysterious and aloof, like on purpose. But she is so effortlessly cool. And I want to know everything about her. But I fear if I was ever to have a conversation with her, I would just be like blasting her with information and the speed of my thoughts. And she would just sort of be absorbing it and responding in a really cool and collected and mysterious way. And to that, I say, I wish that I had some of these traits, but I don't. And when I think of aura farming, I can only think of her. Let's call her by her name so I don't have to just define her by the man in her life. Hold on. Her name is Rama Dawashi. So from now on, we are going to be referring to her as Rama, and Rama is aura farming. Amazing. The other runner up is called biohacking, and they define it as an attempt to improve or optimize one's physical or mental performance, health, longevity, or well being by altering one's diet, exercise routine, or lifestyle, or by using other means such as drugs, supplements, or technological devices. This has been happening for fucking years. And I actually heard this a lot on the last season of Love is Blind. And not that I watch it, I only watch the recaps, obviously, on YouTube because, I don't watch TV. It's like fucking pulling teeth with me. And by the way, the worst season ever from fucking Denver, bro. What's even happening in Denver? 0 marriages to come out of this season. And I'm not saying that's a spoiler because it's been months. This is a you problem. Moving on. So, biohacking essentially. This has been happening for years, but I think now the terminology is more related to like red light therapies or like those plasma therapies or cryogenics, like the things that people are doing to make themselves like look or feel younger or to optimize like their bodily functioning, which not new in any ways. Like I have the motherfucking Aura ring. I had the Apple Watch on every day of my life, every wedding. You could not get that shit off of my wrist. So I don't think biohacking is new by any means. It's just a thing that all the bros are saying to make themselves feel cooler now. You're still not cool. Okay, moving on. More gay news. A tennis player came out as gay. 21-year-old Mika Brunold of Switzerland came out as gay on Instagram. He is apparently an up-and-coming tennis star. Very, very happy for him. And the most, I think the most Gen Z thing that happened that he did when he announced his gayness, it was like in an Instagram post. It was like a text it was an Instagram post with like text overlay. And the first thing he wrote was, "Hey," with 2 Y's. It was like, "Hey, have something I want to talk to you guys about. Don't even think people should have to come out anymore. But what I've learned through the diligence of tennis is that we all need to authentically be ourselves. Hashtag I'm gay. Whip, dab, yeet." Okay. So I love that he started it with "Hey" with 2 Y's because like that is the ultimate symbol of gayness. Hey with 2 Y's is so powerful, I can't even describe its power. When I get hey with 2 Y's, I'm like, you want to smash. You are looking for something from me, and it is sexual interest. Okay. So that is why we are all happy for Micah. Snaps for Micah. Not to mention Mamdani again, but he is our mayor. Shout out. Okay. Mamdani appointed a trans woman rabbi to his transition team in order to like help build the bond with the Jewish community. And I find this so chef's kiss and so perfect. And this comes right on the heels of like the police chief resigned. He was going to maintain the police chief that Eric Adams had for like continuity purposes in the transition team. And the police chief resigned and made a statement about how he has work to do with the police community and things like that. And we know Mamdani has work to do with the Jewish community. He has said things or apologized for things that he had said in the past. And so, Jewish New Yorkers feel like he might need to put a little more effort to make them feel safe. And so him putting this trans woman rabbi on his transition team is just perfect. He's like, I need to build relationships with the Jewish community. Here's what I'm going to do. Rabbi is on my team. There you go. And it is a wonderful trans woman. Oh my God. Shout out. That is my king, Mamdani. And also shout out to Raver and friend Ellen, who is working on the Mamdani inauguration. Fuck yeah. It's so cool to know her. I'm obsessed with it. Okay. Moving on to rave reviews. It's finally what you've all been waiting for. It is my Wicked for Good review. And I have to say that it was good. It was, how you say, for good. Okay. Yes. Did the song For Good make me cry like a little baby? Yeah, I did. And it was acted down. It was acted boots the house down. I am not even gonna lie. Those 2 bitches singing that song, I said, they know exactly. the task at hand. Look at me, not with your eyes, but with theirs. Oh my God. They were giving new meaning to those lyrics that I have known. I used to watch Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth's final Broadway performance as Glinda and Elphaba on YouTube until they fucking took that shit down. So I could have told you every intonation, every inflection of that song, but they really gave new life to it. I was living for it. I'm not going to lie. So that was obviously a highlight of the movie. One of my favorite songs is actually Couldn't Be Happier, and that was quite good. Ariana was also giving Glinda like the high notes, and then those low notes from like My Everything, Ariana Grande pop star era, they were coming through. She was like, hey, ho, 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 giving us high, and then she said, anticipated. I said, ooh, all right, okay. And of course, TikTok algorithm brings me this exact sentiment. I said, damn, no original thoughts for real. A gay person cooked here. A gay person cooked here. So my primary takeaways were, first of all, people talking mad shit like, oh, it's not as good as the first movie. Obviously, it's not as good as the first movie. The first act has all the best fucking parts: character development, magic, sisterhood, friendship, rivalry, sing songs, kissing, dancing, fun. Okay? And all of the good songs are in the fucking first act. Obviously, you like the first movie more, no offense. They, in the second part, I think the songs that they had to deal with, they did beautifully. They added two new songs, which I could have taken them or leaving them. They did what is it? No Place Like Home was Elphaba's song, which she was like appealing to the animals, and then those fucking monkeys were looking, they were peeping toms. The flying monkeys were like, let's hear what she has to say. I said, I thought you were mad at her. Okay. So Elphaba's song, I thought it was good, not great. I didn't love the new songs, I'm not gonna lie. And then Glinda did her song in her like penthouse suite thing, The Girl in the Bubble. Fine. I didn't think it was anything to write home about. What I do want to write home about is the Elphaba Fierro sex scene, obviously. I was sort of like, when we were going into it, I was like, I wonder how they're going to do the sex scene. And then I was like, oh shit, okay. First of all, she had a tank top on and then she put on that fuck ass tattered cardigan. Why are you putting on clothes? You see this man taking off his suspenders. He's unbuttoning his shirt. She's like, let me change into something a little bit larger. Let me change into my heaviest cardigan. Like, girl, what is going on? I know that shit. And if I was in high school, I would have already had that shit on. Every sweater with holes was in my wardrobe in high school. And I can't even describe to you the reason, but it was giving alternative. My thumbs were through the holes, and that is exactly what Elphaba is doing. Okay. Here nor there, they are levitating up in the air. He is coming up behind her in the mirror. He is kissing her neck. And she goes, I'm finally feeling a little bit wicked. Oh my God. I let out an audible laugh. I could not believe that they actually really did it. They had them waking up the next morning. He was shirtless and she was literally back in the cardigan. She started in a tank top. Okay, whatever. Here nor there. Here nor there. She's like, I'm feeling wicked. Oh my God. I could not deal with it. I was like, first of all, gays and lesbians should be making out like this in real life. And I'm not just saying twinks, and I'm not just saying that because it's Jonathan Bailey. I am talking all types, okay? Gays and lesbians should be kissing. This is the type of magic that we're missing out on if we're not. All right? So that's first. Second, crazy. Crazy ad. But the song was fucking good. Kiss me too hard, leave me too tight. That song is good. I downloaded two songs from that album. Couldn't Be Happier and this one. What is it called? Why is it not coming to me right now? I've been listening to it like a fucking lot. As Long as You're Mine. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Rise up, gay people. Okay, moving on. The Scarecrow makeup. I saw the photos on Twitter and I was like, this looks incredible. They did such a beautiful job with this. And then in the movie, I was like, did they sub out Jonathan Bailey for Ryan Reynolds? I genuinely was like, is this AI? I couldn't really get it. I don't know. But they were matching freak. You know what I'm saying? Like when it was regular Fierro, they were still fucking. But now that they're in this like scarecrow, we both have adversity, we are beautiful, looking through different eyes, that whole thing, they're getting into some different type shit. But like, yes, of course. On the tier list of like shit I would pay to see, the Scarecrow and Elphaba like post Scarecrow transition sex scene, like, yeah, I would pay to see that. Okay. Below that is regular Fiero Elphaba, but on top of that all is three-way Glinda Elphaba Fiero. Obviously, okay, this whole movie was essentially Glinda and Fiero fawning over Elphaba. Elphaba was like, you guys, stop. And I'm like, can somebody kiss? And by somebody, I mean Glinda and Elphaba, okay? They were giving lesbian pandering 100,000%, okay? They had already filmed this movie, but somehow they knew that we were all doing the fanfic of Glinda and Elphaba, and they were like, we need to lesbian this up. We need to ratchet it up. We need to turn the lesbian dial to 11, and that's exactly what happened, okay? And we'll get to the press tour in a second, but this whole Madame Morrible, MM, turn it upside down, WW, Wicked Witch, I'm not on board. You're just not going to get me there. All right. I don't believe it. I do not believe that's the point, and I will die on this hill. The author can come to me and tell me that that's exactly what it meant. I'm going to be like, you came up with that afterwards. I'm sorry. I know. Okay. Moving on to the press tour. As we know, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande have a beautiful bond, a very special bond, one that feels profound and very, very deep. Do I believe that it is romantic and sexual? No. I think this is the press tour. It is marketing and it is media. But they are really, really, they're doing something. They are trying everything to convince me and everyone else otherwise. And this joke that came out on Instagram, it was like this big post. It was like, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo come out as non-demi-curious-semi-binary relationship. And I literally believed it for a second. I was like, that is some shit that she would say. And not for nothing, I read that headline and I was like, this is what New York gays sound like to every other person. Like, this is the level of like alphabet mafia shit that like no one actually understands. Like, this is what it sounds like. Like polyamorous hijabi amputee, like that's what it sounds like to someone anywhere else in the world. And of course, LGBTQ people are like, of course they're in a non-demi-curious semi-binary relationship. Of course that makes sense. Okay? So the whole movie is them edging, like kissing. They added in the dialogue of Elphaba saying to Glinda, I love you. That's not in the fucking play or the book. I was like, you're pandering. And I will not be giving into this. The whole marketing of this movie, they're holding hands, they're looking into each other's eyes, they're looking so deeply, they're singing to each other, they're crying. They're doing everything but make out, okay? They've been edging out this entire time. The lesbian shit is crazy, and people ship them as a couple in real life. And to that I say, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. For all we know, Ariana's still with SpongeBob, okay? And maybe she's bisexual, fine. But let's take it back to the Gaylors argument. The Gaylors had one video 15 years ago that is so like UFO level pixelated video. Like fucking Bigfoot spotting level pixelated, can't actually see what's going on, of Taylor and Carly Kloss holding each other or like having an embrace, maybe a kiss at a 1975 concert 15 years ago. And they have used that one body of evidence, that one video, as the body of evidence for Taylor is bisexual/gay, for Carly Kloss, and for many other women in her life. Okay? The Gaylors cannot be told. Ariana's fans, have this body of evidence of her holding, loving, deep relationship with Cynthia Erivo, and they're completely unfazed. They're like, this woman, we support her. We don't give 5 fucks. Okay? And that, I say, go off. But what I think this is Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, A Star is Born marketing, when we are supposed to believe their love story. Like, they were using this marketing tour as like, Bradley Cooper had broken up with Irina or whatever. Lady Gaga had broken off her engagement. So like, are they going to be together? Are they together in real life? We believe their love story. It's jumping off the screen. Their chemistry is undeniable. Right? That happened for A Star is Born. I think that's what's happening right now for a Wicked press tour. And I can't prove it, but it's pissing me off. Okay? And Okay, sure, maybe Ariana Grande is bisexual, and that would actually track. You want to know why? Because another fact of life is true. Bisexuals are always dating ugly men to punish themselves. And no offense, SpongeBob, listen, he is incredibly, incredibly talented. But it is just a fact of life that bisexual people date ugly men to make themselves punished for still being interested in men. And to that, I say, thank you. That's a valiant effort. You don't have to do that, though. You don't have to do that. Okay? We'll love you either way. And by that, I say I'm working through my biphobia. But I don't believe it. I do think that they have a beautiful and special relationship. I do not think that it is romantic or sexual. Just because Cynthia is a lesbian and Lena Waithe might be a little bit jealous of their deep connection does not mean that they are lesbian for each other or this crazy string of words that I refuse to say again. Okay, moving on. Grave review. We lost Keith Urban, you guys. We lost Keith Urban. Keith Urban has always read to me as having a woman's heart. Every 40 plus lesbian who has a motorcycle and a leather vest looks a little bit like Keith Urban. And I've always felt a kinship to him in that way. He's always got this big smile, this long straight hair, this sort of like soul patch, you know? And he really betrayed us because he performed at Mar-a-Lago because an Australian billionaire was hosting some fundraiser or whatever for Trump. And so he performed at Mar-a-Lago. Trump was there. He fucking performed an acoustic version of Pink Pony Club. The betrayal. That one hurts, okay? I have always felt this kinship with Keith, and I can't anymore. You no longer have a woman's heart, Keith, and I know that you're going through a divorce, and the check was probably good. Listen, the American Idol money's not coming anymore. I get it. Nicole Kidman probably took you for all you had. Long hot summer money is drying up, okay? And therefore, we do have to say, I'm sorry. Grave review, Keith Urban. I got to take you off my country bangers playlist. I'm so sorry. And will I listen to you maybe in the privacy of my own home? Sure. Maybe in my headphones. Okay. But Nicole Kidman wins this one again. All right. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Grave review. Can I say something? On Thanksgiving, we saw Wicked. We come home. I invite my dad over so that we could watch the Cowboys Chiefs game and spend some time together. If you did not know, Post Malone was the halftime show for that game. Okay? Because I think he's like from Texas, big Cowboys fan or whatever. Post Malone, an eclectic character. He started with his rap career. Now he's doing the country thing. Fine. Okay. So he does his little like country songs, and then like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders come out to like perform with him. It's really, really cute. But he's wearing kind of a funky outfit. Okay. He's got like a cowboy hat on. He's obviously got all the face tattoos. He's wearing like a bomber jacket, Cowboys jacket, some cute slacks. He's got one cowboy boot on and then one like loafer, one regular shoe. Okay. So my dad's looking at this man and he goes, man, this guy's really a fruit. Like he's a really fruity guy. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, my head in my hands. Like, I'm like, what am I going to say to this? Like, I am ready to pick up that phone and call him in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready to say, like, Dad, like, intervention. You can't say that. And so what I say is, Dad, you really can't use the term fruit. It's like really negative towards gay people historically. It's really not nice. You can't say that. And he said, um, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? You're crazy. He's like, a fruit is just somebody who dresses out of this world. A fruit is somebody who just looks crazy. Okay, look at this guy. He's got face tattoos. He's got pins all over his jacket. He's wearing one cowboy boot. What do you do? Borrow one from the cheerleaders? This guy's crazy, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't know your fucking old hitty ass language. Sorry, age barrier. This 78-year-old man coming up with words I've never heard before with new definitions. It's like the time he's like, yeah, I did dope one time as a kid. I was like, Jesus Christ, really? And he was like, yeah, we smoked it. And I was like, Jesus, okay, wow, I had no idea. And turns out he was referring to weed. He was referring to weed the whole time. So now, can I say something? If you think that your dad is being homophobic, maybe he's just using his own language that he created that no one else understands. Okay? So fruity means you're out of this world, you're dressing like a crazy person, and dope means weed. Hey, you want to seem cool and hard to all your friends? Start referring to weed as dope. Moving on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry as to all of you. I'm sorry as to all of you because I'm about to be a huge bitch about everything more than usual. You might be saying, oh, that's normal, more than usual, okay? Because Pitchfork just came out with the top 100 songs of the year, and some of my fucking favorite songs are on this list. But most importantly, the number one song was one of our songs of the week, Love Takes Miles by Cameron Winter. And it's my top played song of the year right now, is the number one song by Pitchfork. Oh my God, move out of the way. The Tastemaker is here. Aren't you so glad you follow this podcast? That way you can be so up to date with the top songs that everyone is thinking about, okay? If you're wondering how to listen to these, I also have a Song of the Week playlist. It's in my link tree on my Instagram, and I think it's accessible through my Spotify profile as well. Okay. Also, other songs that I have mentioned before, either songs of the week or songs that were on my often frequently played. Headphones On by Addison Rae. That's in the top 10. Number 11, Nueva York, Bad Bunny. You know what else is on this list? Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Manchild, Sabrina Carpenter, Relationships by Haim. Like, we are deep in here. Big Thief is on there. Two Hollis is on there. I was like, wow, I am really, oh my God, right off dome, right off rip. Geese, Taxes. That was like a couple weeks ago. I said that shit was a song of the week. Oh my God. So I'm preparing to be a bitch about everything. I know that's right for the next month of this year. Okay. That's all I've got. That's all I'm going to take. All right. And then maybe again when the Grammys come up, here nor there. Now that we're talking about Pitchfork, it was brought to my attention from Raver Ronnie that Halsey in the year 2020 actually got into it and got canceled due to a comment about Pitchfork, which just so sweet. We have to talk about it. In January 2020, Halsey released an album, and obviously Pitchfork completely panned it. Okay, Halsey's best song of all time is obviously Closer with the Chainsmokers from 2016. Here nor there. Halsey album got panned by Pitchfork, so she tweeted, "Can the basement which Pitchfork resides in just collapse already?" And then when she tweeted this, people on Twitter then began to let her in on the fact that Pitchfork headquarters is actually located in One World Trade. So she had essentially made the recommendation that the World Trade Center collapse. And so she had wished a second 9/11 on Pitchfork. So that got her canceled. And then the pandemic happened right after. So, not to say that all these bad things happened because Halsey tweeted that, but we can't prove otherwise. People started telling her, like, girl, this is actually a really bad look. So she immediately deleted the tweet and posted, like, oh my God, you guys, I deleted it as soon as I heard. It was just like a misunderstanding. I really didn't know. I was just like salty that my album was banned. So I am so sorry, Halsey. And you will always go down in history for having one of the more embarrassing videos from your childhood come up. Those videos of her singing in the mall make me feel like there's nothing that bad in my past that can come out. And I want to say thank you for that. Moving on to Song of the Week. Couldn't be happier on the Wicked for Good soundtrack. Obviously, we need to give them their flowers. I also want to shout out to Ariana's album Christmas and Chill. Since it is December 1st, it is now Christmas, and therefore we have permission to listen. That Christmas and Chill album, it only has like 4 or 5 songs on it, but put on repeat, you won't even know the difference. That shit hits like the first time every single time. All right. It's been amazing talking to you. I love you very much. I will see you next week. This has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for say it with me. Love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.